Well, to better assess AMLO's year in office, my colleague Roee Ruttenberg spoke to Eduardo Arcos. He's a Mexico analyst at the consulting firm Control Risks. He was first asked about the president's promise to tackle cartel violence with hugs, not bullets.
His first year in office has been quite a violent one. In fact, it is well on track to be the most violent year on record for Mexico, with the murder rate surpassing 30 per 100,000 inhabitants. Just to put this into perspective, the World Health Organization considers that any murder rate above 10 murders per 100,000 inhabitants is already indicative of a public security crisis. So as a country, as a whole, Mexico is 3 times above that limit. So it kind of gives you a perspective onto the widespread violence epidemic that the country is experiencing. Now, if you go into violent regions in the country, this rate, of course, is considerably higher. For example, the murder rate in Tijuana, the largest border city in Mexico, is set to surpass 100 murders per 100,000 inhabitants. So you can get a magnitude about a glimpse about the magnitude of the security issue. And of course, AMLO vowed, as you rightly mentioned, to promote policies that would combat violence in a more, systemic way by combating the root causes of crime, such as inequality, such as poverty. But so far, this strategy has not yielded favorable results. And also the fact that he has implemented a less confrontational stance against criminal groups has been widely criticized.
AMLO also created a National Guard to both consolidate Mexico's security services and also to address the corruption within those security services that were quite segmented. Has it been effective so far?
No, the National Guard has not had very positive results. First of all, because there has been a lot of shortcomings into its implementation. Since it was officially launched in mid-2019, there has been a lot of tensions between members of the federal police, who simply refused to get transferred to this National Guard, which was supposed to act as a kind of umbrella security institution encompassing the federal police, the military, and the naval police. But so far, there has been opposition within certain former members of these institutions to join into the ranks of the National Guard, as it is kind of a hybrid between a military institution and a police institution. So, of course, there are suspicions about prospective agents of the National Guard who claim that they simply do not have the right training and the right formation to join the National Guard, and that they shouldn't be forced to do so.
Do you think AMLO has managed to stand his ground against Donald Trump during his first year?
I think that he has. I think that given of course the heated rhetoric that Donald Trump tends to use towards Mexico, I think that during his first year, AMLO has maintained a cordial relationship with the U.S. and in some areas even constructive. So he managed to get Trump on his side in terms of the USMCA, and now Trump has vowed for its ratification and has blamed the opposition Democrats for blocking its ratification in the U.S. Congress. So in that front, it has definitely been a victory for AMLO. There has been tensions over the past year between Mexico and the U.S., particularly regarding migration. But I think that in the end, this administration managed them well, although they ceded some ground, particularly on migration, by increasing deportations on the Mexican side of the border and implementing way harsher patrolling operations throughout the country to stem the flow of Central American migrants. But in the end, relations have remained broadly favorable, and considering the challenge of a very unpredictable U.S. Foreign policy, I think that in this regard, AMLO's track record so far has been generally favorable.